Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is just going to be a quick little build, just something I did off camera in my own time, and then I figured I would build it on a bigger lot and just show you how I did it. I just really liked how it turned out, and I just thought it's quite a usable build for a lot of people, even if you don't have a lot of the packs. Essentially the structure is just a lot of half walls, and basically it's 3 little apartments in one build. And I just really fancied building in Oasis Springs, which really doesn't happen often. I think it must be the new Jungle Adventures pack. I guess I've got the urge to just build in more of a hot climate, and I thought this was perfect for the kind of structure that I wanted to go for. I kind of was inspired to do this by California style apartments. Even though I've never been there, I don't really have any idea what they look like, but it was mainly the balconies, the kind of blocky structures, and the palm trees and that kind of thing in Oasis Springs, and then just those items put together just made me think, oh, these kind of look very youthful and kind of like the kind of apartments you might find in a big city, even though Oasis Springs isn't a big city, but they're perfect for like maybe young adult Sims who've just moved out of their parents' house to move into and find roommates and to be able to afford the bills together. That's the kind of idea I was going for. So they're very much identical in how they're furnished. The plumbing, the kitchen, that kind of thing, they're all the same. And of course you could change that up if you don't have certain items, but just replicate them. And then the things like the beds and some of the clutter items are more personalized to the Sims that are in there. So you could definitely download it yourself and have a bit of play around with the items that you want to put in there. So yeah, I think another reason for me building in Oasis Springs lately is because where I am in the real life, it's been snowing like crazy. We've been snowed in for a couple of days. All the shops and that kind of thing have been closed. It's been really, really quiet and really dull and cold. And throwing snowballs at each other is only fun for so long, and then you get so cold that it just, yeah, you have to come inside. So I've just been feeling like I want to go somewhere hot, and this is kind of what came out of it, this creative build. So that's one good thing about the snow, I guess. I had more time to sit and edit and film videos. But yeah, the kind of exterior and the windows are being placed now, and it's mainly coming together. I am just going to add a platform at the back later with a community, well, I say community pool. It's obviously like a shared pool between everybody who lives in the little apartment. So it's really cute and perfect for the hot weather. I realized at this point that I'd made the center apartment 1 square wider, and it really bugged me. But at this point I was like, I'm not going back and redoing that. I figured it kind of makes up for there being less windows in that middle apartment because the others have the exterior, the side windows. So yeah, the middle sim gets a little bit more space, whatever. But yeah, we've kind of placed all the little half walls that I was talking about and the stairs, and there's kind of an element of there's only just enough space for everything, so it's just perfectly fit. Everything perfectly fits. So the stairs, the mailboxes when I put them in, there's just perfect spots for everything, and I really like that idea. Again, it's perfect for young Sims to move into who don't have much of their own furniture. Maybe they just brought a couple of items with them, everything else is provided, and it's very much like modern and recently renovated maybe. And yeah, there's not much character, I guess, because it's not very personalized, but in the same time I like how young and bright it is, and the interior actually isn't affected by the warm lighting engine of Oasis Springs. Because I think that's one of the reasons I don't build there, is because it distorts the colors on the outside of your build, but the inside is really nice. Putting the floors in now, you can see the white walls. So yeah, I actually really didn't mind the lighting engine at all. So when I first built this, the original version of this, I built it on a 20 by 15 lot, and it was just 2 apartments that were sort of mirrored with with everything the same. And then I wanted to rebuild it, so I did it a larger one, which is this one. So this is technically a 2-in-1, actually no, 3-in-1 build, because actually at the end of the screenshots I put in screenshots of the smaller version and then a bigger one that I did, so on a 40 by 30, where I've basically put two of these whole buildings next to each other, and kind of put little fences around them for some privacy, and then they're kind of joined by a little walkway. So there's 3 different versions of them if you want to go to the gallery and download them. My origin ID is Tamitou, just the same spelling as my YouTube channel. So yeah, you can go, and if you want to do what I did, which was fill Oasis Springs with a couple of them. So I've got a couple of lots with the small version, a couple with the big, and then the larger one as well. Yeah, it just kind of makes Oasis Springs look a bit more young. Otherwise, it's kind of full of traditional buildings that, I don't know, I don't really like them that much. I much prefer this kind of style. So yeah, why don't you try do that and maybe get back into Oasis Springs if, like me, you never use it. So at this point we've placed the kitchens in each apartment, and I have gone ahead and flipped the right apartment so that it mirrors the middle one. It just wasn't working with the windows downstairs, so I figured I'd do those 2 mirrored, and then the other one just replicates the center one. And the counters I've used in the kitchen are really nice. They're from the new Jungle Adventure pack, and that particular swatch is just so nice and works so perfectly with this aqua theme I've got going on. Which is the same kind of color theme I used in my beach house recently, so I must have a thing for it. And these beds as well, which I think are my favorite beds. I just always find myself using them. I think maybe it's because they're such a plain swatch, they just work with everything. But yeah, let me know if I should maybe switch it up and use some different beds if it gets annoying. So here's the same wardrobe and desk in every apartment as well. I figured they would be fixed items that you would get when you moved in, so that it would be basically a furnished apartment. And now I am going ahead and furnishing putting the more personal touches in each apartment. So the first one is a lot more colourful. It's got lots of pops of colour and textures as well. There's like the nice rug and the tapestry on the wall, and yeah, it's very, very colourful, kind of beachy as well. And yeah, I guess this sim, whoever lives in this one, is very maybe a sunny, happy sim, that kind of person. I don't know, the person who gets up early every morning and, I don't know, just does yoga on the balcony. So I'm about to do a cool little trick that I figured out, because I don't like having these stereos on their own table when there's not much space. So what I did is place the stereo on the bookcase, but I did it by sizing down a little side table, and that way the Sims can still dance to the music, because sometimes if you just raise it without putting it on anything, they can't dance to it. So now this way they can dance to the music, woohoo, but when the stereo breaks, they can't repair it, so you'll have to move it to repair it or just replace it. But it's better than having them not be able to dance for fun and that kind of thing. So here's the pool. I wanted at least like a lap-sized pool, something that would be shared, but you know, perfect for sunbathing and chilling out. And there's a lot of kind of communal space with the balconies as well, because even though you can easily lock the doors for each sim to have their own private apartment, all it takes is for one of them to be on the balcony and one downstairs, and they can sort of have a chat and still have their social needs kind of filled with the other Sims in the house. So I did that for my Sims. I just locked the doors for each of them respectively, and then they were able to kind of have their own private apartment. So yeah, I have placed the outside bins, and I'm just putting some lighting now. I really like these lights. They're very very bright. They're like footlights, and they're actually a white light as well, which again helps with the whole warm light in Oasis Springs. It's also kind of a perfect lot for hosting pool parties. We've got the towels that I'm just going to place outside for sunbathing as well. There's some really nice communal space, which I really liked. So yeah, I'm just popping in some yoga mats on some of the balconies, and we're gonna actually move to the center apartment now. So this one is a lot more masculine, a bit darker in the color choices. But I've actually used those skateboard things, those painted. I don't know what they are meant to be. I've used those in all three bedrooms because they're so cool, and I love all the swatches, and the swatches are really diverse. I especially love the octopus one. I think it's really cool. This one reminds me of like a surfer dudes kind of kind of thing he'd have on his wall. And I especially love how when you place any items on that back wall from the angle facing the bed, it looks as though it's directly behind the bed, so it serves as art behind the bed and for up the stairs, if you get me. I really like that. And yeah, I've used those in all three. So sized up, I thought they looked more like surfboards and then more like skateboards when they're small. So yeah, another reason I wanted to do this build was just to give you guys a break from the Jungle Adventures content. I feel like there's been a flood of it on YouTube at the moment, which is obviously because it's just come out, and that happens when most packs come out. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all a little break, and it was a bit of a break for me as well. There's definitely a lot of texture and color going on in that pack, and I love it. It's my favorite aspect of The Sims is the colorful items they bring in, but I also love the more minimal look. So this just gave me a little break. It was very therapeutic almost to just do a very minimal build and something that was replicated. It was just really nice and soothing to build. Yeah, so I hope you like it too, and I hope you enjoy the little break from all the jungle adventure content, but also to see how I've used a couple of the items in a more modern build, such as the rugs and a couple of the clutter items. I know there's not a lot of it, but you know, they can be used in a more modern build like I've done here. I love those flip-flop lights. I kind of want those in real life. Yes, I was looking for something to put on this wall that maybe was more of a skill or something, and I do actually remember the mirror from Jungle Adventures that I love, and I go and put that back because it's the best. Now I've just blocked off that bit of wall because it was just looking plain and it wasn't meant to be there because it was too big. Remember I told you it was too big? So anyway, I just blocked it off and put a painting. So if you want that extra space, obviously you can take it down and put something there, but it was annoying me, so I got rid of it. Yeah, there's the mirror I was telling you about. It's really nice. It's got some nice swatches, some more distressed swatches as well. So again, it's more useful for different styles. I'm just putting another palm tree there. The palm tree kind of just sets off the whole build, even though there's only 3 of them. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I am going to go to the screenshots now. Please stick around till the end because I'm going to show you the 3 different lot sizes, and don't forget they'll all be available on my gallery, so depending on which you prefer, they're all furnished, so you can go and have a look at them. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye!